Hello everybody and welcome to the GG Chronicles episode 5. The GG Strikes Back. And
Nice
today
choice.
my name's Ian and today with us we have Graham
Alrighty.
and we have Chris.
Hello.
Chris with his usual hello.
I was trying to think of something new to say, but
I know.
Nah, it's just
We'll
always-
need to think of something for
too
next
much
time.
Too much pressure.
Too much pressure. So I thought I'd start off and just be saying to people, I hope you noticed our new logos and banners we have done on our Facebook pages and our iTunes cover and Twitter. So let us know what you think of them. Our good friend Craig Ricky designed them for us, and he done that quite quickly, so we all appreciate.
They are brilliant.
Aye.
I really, really like them. He's done a good job.
Looks really, really smart. Definitely chuffed with it. We're hoping to have him as a guest
I
today.
know. He unfortunately couldn't make it. I know I mentioned we might have a special guest, but he couldn't make it.
He's got better things to do than see us tonight.
Hopefully he'll be on sometime soon as a wee special guest.
I can't even imagine what that episode would be like. He's such a weird wee boy.
That'll be good. That'll be a good one. So let us know what you think of them. And give us some comments and feedback. And we hope you enjoyed the last episode. We definitely enjoyed recording it. And this week we're going to bring you some more movie news and game news.
I'm still raging, by the way.
What is it? Oh no,
I'm still raging, by the way.
Chris Rant.
About space being mediocre at best.
Fuck off.
Isn't he mediocre at best? I don't even want to actually get into it. I just wanted to put out there that it hurts, like it's still there. Like,
I know.
It cuts deep.
I know. Craig agreed with you, but Craig's a weird as fuck as well. So you're still two in it both in the same boat.
I mean, I can maybe get on board with the films. Like, I understand if somebody says that the films are not as great as they're hyped up to be, but Spaced is brilliant.
Have you slept since the last podcast?
No, well,
That's so funny.
You're mad watch yourself when you're getting home later, just in case you get lamped through the back of your head by Chris with a claw hammer. Movie news time.
What's first on the agenda? What's happening?
Star Wars, my favourite. Right, we've got some new Star Wars news for the episode 7. Well, rumoured news. I mean, I'd not confirmed, but rumoured.
From good sources.
Yeah, some casting rumours. So, first we've got that apparently Zac Efron was in auditioning for a part, and I've just heard off of Chris that it was apparently for the part of Han Solo's son.
well, that's what I very recently just heard, that it was apparently Han Solo's son, but it could be for anyone.
It could be. I mean, I know you're saying that's terrible and stuff like that, but I've never seen him act. I've not seen High School Musical or what is that one?
See, to be fair, I haven't actually watched any of the films that he's been in because I don't really care about any of them, because they're all
it's all kind of
they all follow the
Because
same.
none of us want to see them.
They all follow the same path. They all seem to be these kind of romantic.
kiddie films.
Well,
Most teenagers.
kids films are like these recently, like these kind of romantic films.
Oh,
I just don't
yeah,
care
yeah.
about stuff like
Is
that.
that one
so-
about him returning for the war or something like that? And
Yeah.
and it's the sort of thing, like, when you say it as a bit of news, I'm thinking, oh, really? Like you say, it's your kind of gut reaction to it. But like you say,
He might be brilliant.
You got to
It
give him the benefit of the doubt, and he could end up being amazing.
It might be his
phenomenal.
chance to just come out and do something totally different, and he might be
Yeah.
brilliant.
And
But
it'll break his mold of what he's done before. So I'll definitely give him
plus-
the benefit of the doubt.
Who doesn't want to be in Star Wars?
Absolutely.
who wouldn't want to be Han Solo's son?
I know.
How cool would
That
that
is
be?
such a cool role to
know.
actually say it to your name. So
Uh,
I'd like to give him the benefit of the doubt, even though it doesn't seem like great news. But
yeah, but
Well, I'm not going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm not that optimistic. I'll say that I'm not happy about it, and if he does get cast as it,
I'd probably,
I'll still won't be happy about it. But see if I go and see it and he's brilliant in it, then I'll be happy.
it's a shame.
I'll happily
I think
say that he's brilliant.
it's a shame for, like, I think the same with the original 3 Star Wars when they first came out. Like,
it was
some
all
of
it was all unknowns, wasn't it?
and and that's what I think made you like the characters more, or maybe the parts of the story more. And when the reveal happened, and it struck you more. But when they put nowadays, when they're making a kind of what's effectively the third set of the films, and understandably they're going to want to pick big names to attract people to it, but even now they really don't need that, and it would be
Nah.
brilliant if they went in and picked unknowns for every role. I know they're not going to do that, but I would love that.
I think it will have some unknowns in it, but much like they did with
But I
J.J.
think it's just because all these big actors are all just want to go for the roles as well. Like, it's one of the biggest films that they could possibly ever be
It's the
in.
biggest
Why would they
franchise,
not want to be in it, sort of thing?
It's and the majority of the actors are probably well aware of Star Wars and what it did for for their like the older actors' careers and stuff like that. So you'd well
Yeah.
want to be in there.
No, I totally agree. You would. I don't know any actor would say it, although Simon Pegg's recently said
That he wouldn't,
It-
him
aye.
and Nick Frost wouldn't want to be in it,
they wouldn't want to be in it.
which is
think-
quite interesting.
I know Simon Pegg loves the originals and he's said a lot about it before, but I think it's because he's maybe
And going back to Spaced, there was a very good bit in Spaced about how he hated Phantom Menace.
I absolutely hated it with a passion.
It was like telling that wee
Can I
kid,
ruin these?
kid to fuck off because he wanted to Jar Jar Binks. Oh. Graham, don't laugh.
But you're
Spaced is crap.
you shouldn't
Laughing
be
about Jar
laughing
Jar
at
Binks.
it. But no, I think you see that because he's in Star Trek and stuff as well. I don't think I think he's maybe done with sci-fi just now and wants to do other roles.
I suppose Star Trek.
So he's just done a sci-fi film and he's done Star Trek, so he'll probably be in the next one. So
I would hardly say that World's End's a kind of hardcore sci-fi.
No, it's not hardcore sci-fi. I didn't
mean,
say
it's-
that. It's
it's-
loosely sci-fi.
Elements of sci-fi.
Elements of sci-fi in it.
But anyway, so that's
No, that's not it. There's more.
what's more Star Wars news.
Aye.
See, I don't know that.
Somebody came into the audition as Luke Skywalker's son. Apparently, it was Ryan Gosling. He's met with J.J. Abrams.
Really.
I think
I heard that in the same news piece. It was Ryan Gosling and Zac
But how
Efron.
are they going to put Ryan Gosling in it? He would need to actually say words, and Ryan Gosling doesn't get used to say words. He gets used to stand around and stare into space, and everybody goes crazy for him.
It's funny how that seems to be a requisite for him now, but there's been a film and a half like where he said less work. In Drive, he was that character, and Only God Forgives, he's more so that character, but that's it. Out of all his films.
No, that what's the Place Beyond the Pines? He was very much like that.
he was quiet in that.
Yeah.
But for the portion of that film that he was in, he was
A sizable,
Talking a lot
sizable
more.
chunk of the film. He was in probably the longest part of it. I would have said.
he was in a third of it.
I suppose it is split into.
Aye.
3 sections. I just
The
think
last one he had a lot of words in was Gangster Squad, and he was fucking
Gas
terrible
Squad
in
was
that.
terrible.
And
So,
he was poor in it.
so it really doesn't. I mean, I think people go crazy for Ryan Gosling for not.
I think it'd be good as looking at them both. I could say, there's a youthful Luke
It
Skywalker.
makes sense to look at, but
It could be good in it.
it's probably better actors.
And as much
Yeah,
as I love him as well, my point still stands. I would rather it was just unknowns, because for these sort of reasons, when you get a big person, you concentrate on them, like you say, like your opinions for good or bad of somebody. In this case, Ryan Gosling, that affects you going into it, and I would rather not have that at all.
I think unknowns would be definitely cooler. I totally agree. with
Aye. I think
think
we're all.
it-
And I love Ryan Gosling, as you say, and I think it'd be amazing to
You'd
see him
marry
in it. I would marry him, but but at the same time, I'm at in Star Wars, like, because the name of the film sells itself. It doesn't need somebody like that in it.
It's much like the prequels. It's going to have like the Ewan McGregor, Liam Neeson.
But if he wants to be in it, like you say, if the both of them want to be in it, and
But then again,
but
Hayden Christensen was an unknown when he came in, and he didn't exactly do the best of
he
jobs.
didn't set the place alight, did he?
Yeah, he was as wooden as fuck.
But again, with those three, with Phantom Menace and up to Sith, they got better, and he got better in them. So
but I'll say,
They did get better, I think.
they did
But do
progress.
you know what's weird about them is that a lot of people consider Attack of the Clones to be the worst.
No, I would say.
I've heard a lot of people say Attack of the Clones is the worst, and I would definitely say Phantom Menace is the worst.
Yeah, I would say that's the worst. They progressively get better.
I would say that as well.
I mean,
Definitely.
Phantom
I'd
Menace
say
still had
Attack
a
of the
lot.
Clones isn't great. I think it is quite dull,
Yeah,
but it is better than Phantom Menace.
And Phantom Menace still had its redeeming points anyway.
I like
It wasn't.
parts of it, aye.
It wasn't wholly bad, but it was by far the worst of the six.
It's the worst Star Wars movie
Uh,
ever.
Easily.
It's easily the worst, but
But I've got faith in J.J. Abrams. From his casting choices in previous, I think he'll make the right choices. But that remains to be seen. We'll hopefully touch on that again once we get.
it will literally be the biggest film ever when it's released.
Once we've got casting confirmed on it more, it's more details come. We'll update.
I'm sure
on
we'll
this.
come back to that a
Oh,
lot.
definitely. As Star Wars out.
And I'm sure down the line we should definitely actually do a Star Wars special as
Oh,
well.
about all of them, yeah, definitely. That would
maybe-
last
maybe-
about 2 days long, maybe for me.
Set it into a series of podcasts just on that alone. But you could do that easily.
But is there any other Star Wars news, or is that?
Nah, the
that
only
for
other
Star
news
Wars?
was John Williams returning, but I think we touched on that, didn't we?
I
before?
think we did.
But
Either
he's-
way, it's good.
Which is cool to
It's good-
confirm that.
it's good
Aye.
news.
Everybody pretty much
iconic.
assumed, but now it's been officially confirmed that he's doing the next 3 movies, which is good because he's a master at what he does. don't think he does a bad score.
Was there not something this week or recent weeks where Harrison Ford had done interviews about how he was getting so annoyed about getting asked because he was somebody was talking to me about it, and now somebody had asked him about it, and he was just getting really pissed off. I can't talk about Star Wars or something like that. And
you're not talking about because he was on a show. Wasn't it Jimmy Fallon? It was the other one, the guy with red hair.
Craig Ferguson?
No,
Conan
that's
O'Brien.
Conan O'Brien. He was on Conan, but it was set up because
because I've not seen this.
You didn't watch it. This was like a month or two ago. It was
was it?
It was a set up because you watch it. It's funny because Conan asks him about it and he goes, "Oh my god, I can't put up with this shit. This is." No, because it goes to the crowd and the crowd asking questions.
I'm sure it was somebody in work actually that said that to
but
me.
it's set up
That's
because
funny.
people ask him all these questions and he goes, "I'm fed up with this shit." No,
I
that.
don't want to be asked about Star Wars.
And then because a Wookiee stands up and it's Chewbacca, somebody dresses as Chewbacca and he goes, "Are you?" Just a funny skit.
That's actually quite interesting because I heard it totally out of context.
No, he's been asked by like, ain't it cool? Done an interview with him, and they said he was so much nicer than they expected him to be. He thought maybe a bit grumpy, but said he was so cool. And they asked about Star Wars, and he's like, "Look, I just can't talk about it.
Generally can't.
They can't talk about it just now," which is cool. So I'm looking forward to that. But we'll go on to something else. So next bit of news was X-Men: Days of the Future Past. Did you both see the viral trailer that came out?
I didn't actually. It revolves Sentinels are in it or something
It's
like
about
that.
it's about the character Trask, who's got Trask Industries, who create the Sentinels.
Because they've now released the pictures.
Played by can't remember his name.
Is it the guy from
Game of Thrones, Peter Dinklage.
Yes,
that's the one.
I'm really looking forward to seeing that.
Because I think he'll be cool. I know he
is brilliant.
He's just a brilliant actor, and that's what it is. Because the character in the books was just a normal height person, and he's obviously not, but it doesn't really matter as long as he's a good actor. I think he looks brilliant.
He's a brilliant actor, and like I saw the Sentinel design, and because I think they leaked a picture of just the head of the Sentinel.
At Comic-Con, they took the actual head and had it there.
Aye, that's
the prop. But
and
now
they've since released
they've got the full-blown ones, and they've got Bryan Singer standing next to one, so you could get the actual.
That's the picture I've seen, and it's cool.
And people were worried about the designs after seeing just the head at Comic-Con, but I really like the design. I think it's cool. I mean, I think
it's cool that they're doing that about the Sentinels. I think that's brilliant.
I loved the Sentinels in the cartoons. Even the cartoons, whenever the Sentinels were on it, I loved it. I know in the cartoon, in the comics, they were huge, kind of like Pacific Rim robots. They were that size.
Aye, they were crazy.
But you can't really do that. It wouldn't work, I don't think, in an X-Men movie. So to make them that size, I think that's just the right height to make them. And
I would.
I know we're talking about the height of robots in some bits.
But I suppose it is relevant. Like Pacific Rim was about these huge, epic, insane battles. X-Men is.
It's more about the mutants and all that.
Exactly. So I think that's a good change.
I think that'll work in well. Because they showed the viral trailer, and the viral trailer was just about Trask Industries, like bringing. Making it safer in the future. So basically talking about these robots getting built. It's only like 45 seconds long, but it's just cool.
I like you'll see more of that coming up to the release of it as well. More viral videos and stuff.
There was footage shown at Comic-Con which nobody else got to see. It was just whoever was in Hall H, and people at Empire and stuff are talking about it and said through what they're seeing they were blown away. They're pretty much blown away because they thought it looked brilliant.
It's like a good kind of 9 months or something, isn't it, until it's out?
I think they're still filming just now, so I think they're just finishing filming.
And that's going to have a huge post-production. That's going to be getting like kind of tinkered with or whatever, like special effects shots for a long time.
Yeah, can't wait. Can't wait to see it. We'll go to the next bit of news. Fox has announced that their plans for Avatar 2, 3 and 4 all filming back to back.
So Graham, obviously you know
about
Avatar.
What'd you say?
You've seen Avatar, you've totally analysed it.
How can you fall asleep if you've never watched it? So you don't know. Obviously, you only got 6 votes to watch it, so we didn't reach the votes.
Did we even get as many? 6?
6, aye.
Because we got commented on different routes, and to be fair, I was counting them as well because I was quite happy to go on my word with that.
See, I don't actually get your whole reasoning behind not watching it. It's almost like this. It's cool that I haven't seen it, kind of thing.
I've not once said I think it's cool.
You said that to me. You said that to me about a year or 2 ago. Because I says, why do you not watch it? You just think, I think it's cool that I haven't seen it, and everyone else has. It's pure hipster mentality. Like
you're like Craig, the hipster. You and Craig fucking joined at hip.
I know, Craig. Me
Hipsters.
and Craig are going to make our own hipster podcast.
I know, but no, I think you should watch it because it's a solidly made movie.
It is not the best thing ever.
No, I don't. But by any stretch of my,
It looks brilliant.
it was one of the first. It was the first 3D film I seen in IMAX, and it looked. Amazing.
It looked brilliant.
I was blown away by the 3D in it. 3D was amazing as well.
I don't really know how they're going to take
The story,
it.
the story was rubbish though.
The story was the most basic story you've ever seen, and you can predict it from the very beginning what's going to happen.
You're not selling it to me here.
But the effects are brilliant.
I'm not here to sell it. I'm just saying, as a movie buff, you would surely be wanting to see it
The action's
because you've seen a lot of shite.
It's a decent sci-fi film. I'd say it's a decent sci-fi film.
I don't understand.
On second watching, that was I got a bit bored.
It's getting how many sequels now? Three,
and they're all filming at the same time, back to back. Then they'll be released December 16, 17, 18. Like 2016.
Is it that far away? So it's December 2016
is
is
the
when
first one.
you're getting
Well,
the next one.
the second one. But apparently it's going to cost $1 billion for all three. But
That is mad.
Avatar 1 made 2.8 billion.
The most successful film of all time,
Of all
which is
time.
insane.
2.8 billion it made. So that's what they're thinking. If they make 3 more, and it costs $1 billion to make them, and if they make nearly 8 billion, then they're fucking well.
I think that's a bit presumptuous because I don't
know,
know. I
I
don't
know.
know if I think
There's absolutely no way in hell they'll do as much business as the original.
I don't think they will now, but I'll say
it would need to be of better quality. I think. Although in saying that, we've talked about this before. Good quality films doesn't necessarily mean money coming in.
That doesn't mean more dollars and pounds coming in from different countries or whatever.
So to be honest, he could make it shite and people would still turn out and see it.
Definitely.
But I guess, I mean, it's so far away, there's very little point in
Aye.
even talking about it. We'll need to wait and see
It's
what
just mad that
the
they're.
plot's actually going to be about.
I just wish he done. Don't know. It feels like I wish he just done his old style films again. Like he's put so much time into Avatar and different technology now that you kind of wish he just went back to just making a film every couple of years instead of like. Because I know how good he can be, so it's a bit disappointing to hear that.
Anyway, fuck him. Let's go on to. Oh, this is terrible news. This is fucking rotten news. You probably heard it. See, director David Yates. He done 4 Harry Potter films. Done the last 2, like Deathly Hallows.
Right.
Not a Harry Potter fan at all.
Those are good films. I'm not hugely into Harry Potter, but they were well-made films and they were good.
I enjoyed them, yeah, definitely.
I enjoyed them, but again, I'm not a Harry Potter fan as such. But he's in talks to do a reboot of Scarface.
Seriously.
Yeah.
What you mean a reboot? Like
Rebooting it.
a remake of the original film?
Rebooting. They're just kind of doing...
Because you know how sometimes you get a lot of movie concepts that now make their way to TV? Like as a series or something? So are they talking about making a reboot of film, or is it a TV show?
Film.
Or...
It's a film.
It's a film, right.
Which is...
It's totally
just
unnecessary,
it's
but...
totally depressing. Why? But can you imagine anybody other than Pacino in that role?
I suppose
But you can say
he's
that.
made
You
it-
can
he's
say
made
that
it
for
so
a lot.
like-
You
I know,
can
but-
say that for a lot of films. though,
I know,
they've
but
been
he's made
remade.
it so iconic.
I mean, in fact, a good counter argument to that instantly is a phenomenal film, a phenomenal actor, like specifically revered for that role, Anthony Hopkins as Hannibal, and they've done what I was worried to be a TV series based on that, with a different guy playing that role. You know and love him for that so much, and it was incredible.
I think it's a bit different. The character's so...
Yeah, because they're
Outrageous.
talking about remaking
Just
the
rebooting.
identical story,
Aye.
whereas Hannibal goes down a completely different route. It's
Aye.
like it's
Slightly
set,
different. I know what you mean,
It's set
though.
quite far before Silence of the Lambs.
And
I know what
it's
you mean.
based
That's
on-
that's a wee bit different. I'm talking about... They're just rebooting the character and doing it... I just don't
I
see
know,
it.
and
It's stupid.
it feels like there's no need. Well, I mean, you can say for every
It's
single
depressing.
remake
There's so
to be
many
imagining.
remakes that are not
Aye.
really needed. I mean, I still think I still think it's ridiculous that Old Boy's been remade.
I know. Talking to Old Boy.
Is it actually Old Boy news?
That's been delayed. A month. Only by a month.
Oh, right.
So don't worry. I know you get a wee bit worried there.
No, I don't really care. I mean, if it's delayed indefinitely, I'd maybe be you happy.
That was
'Cause I just don't think it needs.
I just read that and I thought, I'll put it in for life, see if Graham has a wee fright. And that's out in the 6th of December here.
That's cool.
It's out in America a week before. But going on from that, the Pacific Rim, there's talk of a Pacific Rim sequel now.
That
there
does
wasn't-
not surprise me.
There wasn't originally because it done so poor in America.
But it's opened well in China and like
Internationally, it's done really well.
in Eastern kind of countries.
That
which is
doesn't,
really good.
again, that doesn't surprise me.
If
as
it
well.
done the same in America as it did, if it done the same internationally as it done in America, a sequel wouldn't get sanctioned. But because it's done really well in like the UK and
I'm really,
China and all
really
that.
happy about that.
So I'm glad.
So I was reading in America, it came out around about the same time as Grown Ups 2, and Grown Ups 2 actually did better. Was it not pulled
That's
in?
right.
it done
10 million.
It done slightly better.
10
Which
million
is
more, something like that.
insane to think that, man. And it's,
I don't.
it's
You
an
don't condone
opinion.
that?
I've got no desire. No. I've got no desire to see it. I haven't even seen the first one. I thought it looked terrible.
I've seen the first one. The first one was pish. So the second one's just going to be as bad. From what I've read, it's worse.
Yeah, for me personally, I just don't think it doesn't appeal to me in the slightest,
Yeah.
and it's quite disappointing to see that people would go and see that rather
Over,
than Pacific
over
Rim.
original concept.
That again, I suppose, like, and it is insane to think that, but it goes back to that same thing what you said, Christopher, about any film for that matter. Like talking about Avatar, yeah, you're saying it's far from the best film you've ever seen, which I'm sure it's not, but it made the dollars, and that's the important thing. As a business point of view, it was the most successful film of all time. They're going to make sequels. Adam Sandler, diabolical as he is now, he
Such
still
a shame, man.
Shocking now.
he still brings in.
He still
huge
makes a
dollar
set
signs.
amount. No matter what film he makes, he'll still make a quota. That's why he keeps on getting to make films.
So, as much as it sucks to see, and as poor as the films are, from a business point of view, you can understand it.
I totally get it, but I just
I
don't
mean, I
understand
get-
people keep going and
Yeah, that's what I don't get. I
it's
don't
just
get why people are
so
paying the money
depressing.
to
Even-
fund these terrible movies.
Even today, when I saw the Heat, there's a trailer for Grown Ups 2, and the crowd are gutting themselves laughing at the trailer,
it was even funny.
and I was like,
No, it's that same trailer.
that one section where he pulls up the raft out.
I seen that today actually.
I was like,
A lot of wee.
that was like, I thought that was quite comical. I actually quite liked that wee bit. I thought that's quite funny.
See, I think
that was it.
I think there's pressure in the cinema. Like, it's one of these uncomfortable things where if something's meant to be funny and it's not,
If other
they
people
may
like
get
you,
petty laughs. That's what I'd like to think.
No, I
I
think
don't think I was a pity laugh.
It's the
Well,
same
then
when I
you're
watched-
surrounded by idiots. Then
No, it was the
if
same
it's-
when I went to see This Is the End, and people were absolutely gutting themselves at things, and I was looking around like, oh my
I found
god.
This Is the End quite funny though.
There was bits of it funny, but not all of it. Some of it was pretty poor. Some of
Yeah.
it really wasn't that funny, and people were fucking absolutely gutting themselves.
See, but I thought that was more evident, and which is weird because I actually like this film more, but I thought it was more evident in The World's End that there was jokes that just were not funny.
See, I didn't hear that many people laughing in World's End because I didn't.
But
I didn't think it was
But
that.
it's a comedy.
I know, but I didn't think it was that funny. World's End.
I didn't think that either.
I didn't think it was set out to be a comedy. I even read an interview with.
I think
Edgar Wright
it's
recently.
definitely first and foremost a comedy.
No, I know what you're saying, but I read an interview with Edgar Wright saying that this was the
Tonally, it's much different.
tonally most supposed to be really different. With joke, obviously, it's supposed to be a comedy slash kind of. I don't know what they were going. They're still definitely going for a comedy. Don't get me wrong, but
Because it wasn't even so much
Different
that
from
it
the
wasn't funny in terms of there weren't many jokes. It's just that it felt that the jokes that were there weren't funny.
weren't brilliant. No.
So it was an attempt at having jokes in it that just weren't funny. But anyway, this is radically off topic. I don't even know what we're talking about. Grown Ups 2.
Grown Ups 2.
Crap.
fuck it.
Everyone, it's great.
Don't even want to spend more time in that.
It's great that everyone's went to see Pacific Rim. Hopefully it does get a sequel, and hopefully it's totally.
I wasn't.
of the
I
same
wasn't pure.
quality.
Once I'd seen Pacific Rim, I wasn't pure going. Oh, I want to see a sequel for that. I thought that's a good standalone movie. But
See, I kind of didn't think that, and I thought they ended it in such a way, and very, very mild spoilers here, but I thought they ended it in such a way where they probably could have got away without making a sequel.
And I think that's a good way to do a film, I think, because
It doesn't
they
set
might
up,
not have done a sequel.
doesn't
in
set up
which
for a
case it would have been
sequel,
finished.
and it doesn't totally rule out the possibility of a sequel.
aye,
It just kind of leaves it with a nice, definitive sort of ending.
aye.
But anyway, what
Aye.
else have you got for us?
They're doing Born 5 with Jeremy Renner again.
He was pretty good in the last one, I thought. I quite liked the
It's
last
good,
one.
but I'm bored of it now.
It's hardly a yearly sort of release. Like
I know, but I just don't. I wouldn't. After watching that one, I was like, I don't want to see another one.
And it's,
I would go. I quite like the last one.
No, it was alright.
I really liked it as well. And I was, after really enjoying the first three, I was like, oh, I wonder what it's going to be like. Cause
I really enjoyed the first three, but the fourth one was a dip, definitely. It still wasn't a bad film because I've got it now. So I liked
I would
it.
agree that it was a
It was
bit,
definite
it
dip.
was a bit of a dip, but I do I do think that Jeremy Renner was really good in it.
I
think
totally agree.
I think it was just the...
Graham's destroying the mic here. He's getting passionate.
He's
Getting passionate, ladies and gentlemen.
So angry. No, but I think it was maybe a writing thing. Like the plot
maybe a wee
perhaps
bit.
wasn't as
But
strong.
the guy who wrote the first three, he was writing the fourth, but he's dropped out. I think it's somebody else that's working on it now.
I think from the first three
That may
being
be a good thing.
being kind of so good and getting like putting a really good base for a film in there, and yet the sequels are really really good. And with the fourth one being a dip, hopefully they can then learn from that and then make an amazing fifth one. Like so they've went up, then they've maybe dipped a wee bit, and then
Yeah, 'cause
hopefully-
I actually think it's kind of good that they're making another one.
aye.
I think it's good for him.
I'm
to
just
do another
not.
one.
I know what you mean, but I'm just not that bothered. But
I-
what would you give out of 10? The Bourne
Who bring him back?
Supremacy. I liked it. Ratings.
Supremacy?
Stay
It's just the last.
Stay until somebody says.
Wait, what was the
it's
last
fine.
one?
Supremacy. Was it?
That was Jeremy Renner's.
I
Legacy.
think so.
Legacy, was it not?
Legacy.
I'm getting confused now.
Just what the last one was Jeremy.
The last, it's been so long since I've seen it, but
6 for me.
I think I'd probably give it a solid 7.
I would say 7.
I did really enjoy it, but I think there's bits that could have been improved.
I would say 7.
I walked out fairly satisfied.
Nah, without being.
I wasn't like I didn't walk out thinking they've just ruined that series. Let's put it that way.
And you didn't come out thinking, "Oh, that was the best thing I've ever seen," sort of thing. So
Yeah, there's stronger Bourne films. So
Nah. Right, so there's
That's cool.
more reboot news. Len Wiseman, I think he done Die Hard 4 and he done a couple of. He's done decent things.
you just mentioned Die Hard 4 as being decent.
Aye,
Die Hard 4 was decent.
it was decent.
It's better than Dying, but it's not.
Oh.
Scream to say again. No, he's dropped it. I'm making the Mummy reboot.
Why are they even trying to do that? I didn't even know they were trying
Did
to
you not
do
do
that.
that? No, it's been in the
read-
works for a while.
I did read the news and I read that he's now not.
The originals,
He must have seen
the
sense.
originals weren't even that great.
I loved the first one.
They must have pulled in a decent amount of money, but I don't think they would now.
I really liked the first one. I didn't watch it, but the second one there was a third one. No,
It was 3.
aye, there was 3.
And then did they not do another weird one that was a spin-off?
Scorpion King.
Scorpion
King. I
King.
didn't watch because I just knew it'd be terrible. Even though it had The Rock in it.
What do you mean? Even though back then it would have been terrible.
Aye, that's what I was saying. Even
'Cause
though I
But
like
you're
his-
talking about even though it had the Rock in it, it's like it was a redeeming factor.
no, The Rock was cool.
Well, it definitely was.
Well, definitely isn't it?
I'm not saying he's a brilliant actor. I just think
if you're
he's.
looking for a good actor, no man.
I'm just thinking he's cool. He's cool. No, I like seeing him in things because I think he's good. But
Aye, like photos and that maybe, but an actual film when he's having to play a character.
but it's an action thing. That's all right. But no, I didn't even see Scorpion King because it looked dreadful, and I heard it was dreadful. And the third one was dreadful as well because it was his Brendan Fraser's son.
I really liked the first one too. I thought it was brilliant.
I thought the first one was brilliant.
And
I think if you watched it now, your opinion would probably
I've watched
change.
it recently, and I've still really enjoyed it.
It's not brilliant. It's
I well enjoyed it.
enjoyable.
I
I love the setting of those sort of films as well. Like, kind of
like a desert.
like
Desert's
desert.
boring. It's just sand.
No, I just mean
I
like
do
any
like
any film that I associate with like scenes that are based there or wholly based there that I think are it's just really cool.
You're right, Chris. Aye.
Sorry,
Chris was having a little fit there.
I used to.
I'm actually just choking on air. That's good.
I will get away from Mummy. Who wants to talk about it again?
No, nobody wants to talk about the one.
Just announced the other day, In Between Us 2 movie is getting worked. It's been confirmed.
I quite liked the Between Us movie.
I really liked the first.
Actually,
I didn't expect it to be as funny as
I
it was.
love the Between Us. I think the Between Us
The
is
TV
brilliant.
show is
Oh,
brilliant.
the TV series is
I've
incredible.
watched
I
it.
thought-
I've watched it over quite a few times.
I was really hesitant as to how
About
well
the film?
it would
Aye.
translate to a film, and I think that they tackled
It's still
it
not
quite-
as good as the series by any means, but
No,
it was,
but they did a good job. They tackled it really
Aye.
well because they took it. Generally, with these films, they take them out of their comfort zone. Like if you make a film based on a sitcom or something like, or a comedy series or whatever, they always move them to kind of radical different places.
Yeah.
And it generally doesn't work out too well. But I think that the Between Us movie was actually pretty good. It wasn't as good as strong as the TV show, but it was
No.
still enjoyable.
But I still highly enjoyed it. I laughed.
I
Made
laughed quite a lot.
I
made
laughed
a
a
really
lot.
good effort, I had to say.
And when I watched it again, I still laughed as well.
And it'd be
which
interesting
sometimes
to
doesn't
see what they do with a sequel.
I know. I don't know what they're. I
It's
was
been
happy.
quite a gap.
Aye, it has been 2 years or something.
Is it even as long as that? Eh?
I think it was 2 years.
I thought it would have been longer than
No,
that.
it was 2 years.
For some reason, I thought it was longer than that.
Yeah. But no, I'm hopefully the writers. I mean, all the TV show and the film, it's all with the same writers and stuff. So they're still involved
Stuck by
again.
good teams.
So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Definitely.
Another news, Denzel Washington turned down Fast 7. Thank fuck.
Really?
Yep.
That's quite
He
disappointing.
was offered and he turned it down because he realised he went, nah, I don't really want to be in a pile of shite.
I'm pretty sure he didn't actually say
He
that.
did actually say that. I got a quote from him. He
That-
said that.
how
He told
cool-
me, I phoned him
How
last
cool
night.
would that have been, though, for,
No, it
him,
wouldn't
for
have.
him to be in that?
That would have
That would
been
have
amazing.
been brilliant.
Still wouldn't have seen it.
Oh no, that would have been cool.
You're lost in.
I'm pretty
It
disappointed.
would have been cool, but it's not happening. GG. Right, away from movies. We're now going to games.
Yeah.
First game news. Fez 2
Oh god.
has been cancelled.
Aye, but that's the tip.
That's the
of the
tip of
iceberg.
it by the creator, Phil Fish. Filet Fish.
Did you see the tweets?
I didn't see the
and
tweets, but apparently he's, to tell everybody that didn't know, he's cancelled Fez 2. Basically, in general terms, because he's been trolled by people online.
By it was a particular
It was
guy.
game trailers,
It was
somebody game trailers.
Marcus Beer, who does Annoyed Gamer, which is basically a show where he goes on a rant about things. It's always negative. It always focuses on the negative side of things, which is why I kind of gravitate towards it.
You negative bastard, you.
But he kind of talks about things that he's annoyed, or as the title says, annoyed about or upset about, or something that he wants changed about something or whatever. And I think he kind of called Phil Fish, as far as I can tell, it was a relatively tame name. It wasn't him being vicious.
But he called him a name.
But I think Phil Fish reacted really badly to it. But I can't, I don't know what it's like to be in the public eye, make a game, and then have everybody criticise you.
Even though it's a brilliant game.
And it's a really, it must be a really
That is
devastating
really,
thing.
that is really shit.
It must be a really devastating thing
I
to
did-
have happen to you.
I was watching.
And if you're not thick-skinned, like, see people like
I think
Cliff Blazinski was tweeting how saying he gets constant tweets about people slagging him saying, "Oh, you've made shit games like Gears of War. What are you going to do?" But he's quite thick-skinned
I
about
hear
it.
he reacts to it well.
And he did a brilliant kind of open letter to Phil Fish saying, effectively boiled down to just him relating to him about saying how he kind of developed a thick skin, and then how he really wouldn't want Phil Fish to quit gaming because he's really excited to see what he'd come out with next. And I'm totally the same. I'd love to see what he would do next.
From what I've only played Fez for maybe a couple of hours, but I did really enjoy it. It's really innovative and cool. So I'd like to see a second one. But
even
or another game.
even if he didn't do Fez 2,
just
something else in general.
something else.
just the mind, and this sounds really stupid, but the mind that created Fez, if somebody creates something like that, it would be really interesting to see what would happen if they then decided to do something radically different.
Aye, definitely.
And that's what's kind of disappointing about it, is that people acting like dicks can effectively end somebody's career.
You're always going to get that and that type of thing with the online community. It was there before and it's there now, but it's more prevalent because of things like Twitter and Facebook. So it's easier
Because it's
for people.
so easy, and,
And so quick.
Everyone hides behind their keyboard and they just fire abuse off at these people.
I hate that on any subject. People that just go and comment negatively.
I don't get it. I don't get it myself. But from another kind of, it was a YouTube video with guys talking about this subject, and they were saying as well, even watching the indie game, you could tell he was a bit of a loose cannon.
You could tell.
He said, "If I don't make video games, I'm going to kill myself."
You could tell that he was very stressed. He was going. You could tell that in
That's
indie game, the movie, he was going through a lot. Obviously, had the stuff with his partner,
The illegal stuff.
and there was the legal side of it, and you can tell that there was an incredible amount of stress. He was showing
a highly
off.
strong guy.
I think he was showing off at PAX. Was it? It was PAX or something
and
like
it got
that. And then
errors.
the game was crashing and stuff, and it was just like it was really hard to watch. But you could tell that he had so much passion for it. So it was so crap that someone
I know.
could
It's
be a dick about it.
that's what somebody was saying.
It's honestly bullying.
But
As lame as it kind of sounds, like schoolboy stuff, it is.
But do you think that, given the kind of world that we live in, with it's so easy to get on Twitter and Facebook and stuff like that and throw abuse at people, do you think that people like that are slightly in the public eye should be a bit more thick-skinned, or
I think he should be.
In one hand, they should be, because
But he shouldn't. He retaliated a lot. He was picking fights. He wasn't picking.
to
People were
be
saying.
fair, to be fair,
people
at
were
times
saying
he
stuff.
does give as good as he gets sometimes.
But people were saying People were saying I didn't like your game or stuff, and he was reacting really badly to it. I know you're allowed to react bad if somebody says, but he was he was fucking making things worse for himself.
He was taking it. If somebody was saying, "I really didn't like your game," he was taking it very
so badly.
personally. Like he didn't need to. You don't need to take it like that. Like,
and when you're in that line of work,
but I don't know. Maybe I would be like that. I mean, I think about if I made a game and somebody turned around and said to me, "It's absolute shit," I would be really hurt by that, and I'd probably retaliate in a bad way.
Totally, but you've got to learn not to be in that line of work. In any line of work where you're in the limelight, you've got to learn to. You've got to learn how to take it.
You need to take the good and the bad, but
you've got to just ignore it.
There's too much of an extreme though, and like you say, like any website, Twitter, Facebook, any online social media gives you something to hide behind, and for anything, if there's somebody I hated, I would never go on and give somebody abuse online.
Yeah, no,
it's such a horrible thing to do.
And it is, people...
You talk about it personally, but not...
People think it's like, it's just online, it means nothing, but somebody, like, it's going to an extreme opposite here, but somebody could kill themselves based on something that somebody said.
I know.
Yeah. And it's like, I would never, always online to anyone, I talk how I would talk in real life to someone.
Like a dick.
Aye, and if I'm a
dick, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
I would be a dick online.
You'd be just.
I'd be the same.
Be the same,
and that's the thing. And some people are inherently bad, and they're evil, and they're nasty, and if they're like that both ways, and that's more for them because they're the ones that are going to live a negative, bad, crap life like that. But
I thought you were going to get into the old George Bush thing. Fool me once, full again. Full. I thought it was going to be that. I thought I'd just like...
Well, hopefully
I'm as good a speaker as George Bush.
Hopefully if, through some crazy miracle, Phil Fish actually hears this, then he decides to...
Come back
to games. We love you.
Don't quit. Right.
Games love you.
Sorry to get totes emotional there.
No, that was really deep.
That was quite deep.
I was quite surprised that... Pure tearing up here.
I think for our next podcast we should maybe do like relationship advice. That'll be a good one.
For fuck's sake, man! Everyone want to kill themselves after 5 minutes, man.
Right. Anyway,
next news: Ubisoft are revealing a new next gen game at Gamescom. They've just announced.
Gamescom's looking to be pretty good. There was a few announcements at Gamescom.
I think
Microsoft are obviously doing their press conference and they're talking about announcing a few things, and then Ubisoft are saying that they're that
Ubisoft one. I actually didn't know that.
So new IP.
Is that a whole
new... That's my
new IP.
That was my question.
It's a new game.
That's really cool.
It's not like a sequel.
And it's next gen.
New next gen.
They've got some good stuff coming out. Like, obviously, they just showed off. I mean, Watch Dogs is going to be massive. Then they just showed off The Division at E3.
Aye. I think they're looking strong. They're looking really strong.
Really good.
It'd be really interesting to see. It could be Rainbow Six.
Oh,
that's not a new IP. That's not a new IP though.
Oh, don't get me excited. I was like,
I was thinking I could be Rainbow Six. That's not.
That'd be cool.
Rainbow Six on its own, that's another conversation altogether, man.
Hopefully we'll do a new a podcast specific to Gamescom.
Hopefully.
I would like to do a Gamescom one. Yeah.
So we'll be about Games again.
But anyway, what else?
When is Gamescom actually?
The end of August.
The end of August. Just in like 3 weeks time.
Cool.
Tomb Raider next gen sequels confirmed.
Yeah,
which is good.
They're already working on it, which is brilliant because
they've already been. They think they started working on it shortly after.
Tomb Raider was excellent.
Oh, it really was.
Really excellent. If it hadn't been for the fact that BioShock Infinite and Last of Us came out this year, it would be a strong contender for me for Game of the Year.
Definitely.
But
definitely agree.
BioShock Infinite and Last of Us kind of are slightly better. But Tomb Raider was still brilliant. Loved it. Can't wait for a sequel.
Can't wait. Should be good.
Totally deserves
Graham, did you play it?
I didn't actually play it.
You're missing it, mate. It's so good.
It was so good. I think you would probably really enjoy it.
I think you would really enjoy it.
And it's a game that I pretty much know I would, so I'll hopefully get around to it at some point. I mean, I'll probably get it pretty cheap now as well.
Definitely.
Yeah, probably.
Other news was, for all you PC gamers out there, Blizzard has a special announcement for Gamescom.
Again, they've just said special announcement.
Special announcement, not said what it was, but people are saying it would be the Diablo 3 kind of add-on,
first expansion pack. I know that they also announced that their next MMO, what is it called? I think it's currently just called Project Titan or whatever. They've said it was originally going to be a subscription-based MMO, but they've now ditched that because I think subscription-based MMOs are kind of dying out. I don't think.
Did World of Warcraft now release that they'd lost something like 500,000 customers in the last month or two,
and they've now kind of dabbled with free to play up to a point. I think you can get to a certain level
doing something similar to Marvel Heroes. Well,
Marvel Heroes is completely free,
but doing something.
World of Warcraft is like you can get to a certain level, and once you get to that level, you need to subscribe, sort of thing.
At its highest, what kind of level of people were playing World of Warcraft?
It was over 10 million.
But no, they lost like 500,000.
Because I was
actually,
thinking,
I think it was quite a bit higher than 10 million actually.
at its highest, or just recently in general, it was that.
No, at its highest, it was.
But I think they've been losing
can't
customers for a
remember.
while. They've been losing players for a bit. They went a big jump this year. They lost like 500,000.
If you look at MMOs in general, there's so many good ones that are either free to play. Free to play, I don't generally like because I find that a lot of them are done quite badly and they're littered with microtransactions. But
The costs are just put
if you get like Guild Wars is a brilliant MMO, and all you need to do is just buy the game. Like with World of Warcraft, you need to buy the game, then a subscription. Guild Wars 2, you just need to buy the game, and it's a brilliant MMO.
I've seen that in the shops.
You
just
don't
that I
need to
thought.
subscribe
And
to
did
it.
they always, again, my PC gaming's very, very limited to almost non-existent, but with Guild Wars, did they support it really well with like
Guild Wars 2 gets
with
patches.
software updates, patches and all
Patches
that?
constantly for
That's,
Guild Wars
that's
2.
good, because
And,
I
and
think
it's going to get expansion packs, and a lot of people play Guild Wars 2. It's like hugely popular.
now that's probably people's worries, that people who are PC gamers in general, but maybe not MMOs, are probably going to be quite worried about it, like, or any
'Cause I find
MMO,
MMOs
depending on how it's made.
I don't want to get a subscription based MMO anymore. I don't because
I'm all
if I get it, I don't want to say yes, I'm definitely going to play this for a month because I paid for a month.
Because
Because at the end of the day,
then forces you
I can't-
unnaturally to play things.
I like that I've got Guild Wars 2 and I can just jump back to it.
Same with Marvel Heroes. They've got a good structure as well.
Yeah.
But it's just totally free. You don't even need to buy it. You just
Yeah, I mean, Marvel Heroes is... I wouldn't compare it to Guild Wars 2 because I don't think it's anywhere near as good. But
different. I've not played Guild Wars or 2, but I'm still playing Marvel Heroes. I'll still jump on it because I've not played.
I wasn't that... To be fair, the reason I deleted Marvel Heroes was just because it was crashing on my computer for some
Don't
weird
know, that's
reason.
weird. I've never. Mine's just been
It's just,
up,
I think it's just my PC, but...
I've been really loving it, and I've still been playing it quite a lot.
We don't have enough PC games. Hopefully we'll be talking about more PC games because Outlast out in September, and I definitely will be buying that. I love my horror games, and that should be one of the scariest games I think this year.
Imagine you got it and you weren't scared at all. How raging would you be?
I think I'm easily scared when it comes to... I still can't play Slender like in the dark on my own. I find it scary.
What was that? Talking about Slender, what was that Easter egg thing you showed me where you saw Slender Man in the background?
Oh,
It was just top 10 Easter eggs.
Bit Trip Runner 2 or something like that.
Something.
How
And
was
he's like
slow-
absolutely clearly in the
But
background.
you wouldn't see it if you
But
were
you
just
don't-
playing.
But
If
you
were
don't
just
see it on first motion, like watch it naturally.
Just
I'm
watching
like,
naturally, you
miss
would.
it.
But it's done at such a fast pace that you probably would not actually register
Nah.
it.
And as much as he stands out in it, because there's so many things on screen and it's fast and
I think that's
colourful.
cool that Slender's just...
It's slowed down. It's pure prevalent, and you're like, whoa, that's creepy. Still creepy, even in a kind of cartoony game.
I want Slender to be in more things. I want him to be a downloadable character for, like, I don't know,
A fighting game.
DC Universe. What's that DC game? That's out? I completely forgot the name of the
Injustice.
game.
God,
Injustice,
I'm
aye, that's it.
mate.
What DC Universe? Injustice, aye.
That'd be funny.
Yeah, I'd buy that.
What other news? Star Wars Battlefront. They've said that it's going to be released summer 2015, which is cool. I know somebody else said to me that
I can't
so
imagine.
long away.
I can't imagine it being any sooner though. Like,
No,
I would
I
never
mean, they've
have
only just
imagined
started it.
being-
like a month or two before E3.
I know.
That only just started on
When
it.
you talk about it like that, you're right. It just seems like it's normal.
It seems like a really bad spin.
It just seems like if when they date it and say summer 2015, it just seems so far away.
It's good marketing though, 'cause that's when the film's due to be released. So they release both of them
That's
at the same time. Then it'll get people's interests in Star Wars perked up.
so it's due to
Even
come
more.
out. Is the film got a I know
Not
it's
an
summer.
actual date,
It
but
doesn't have a
it's just
date
summer
yet. And
2015.
Battlefront.
Right,
has
so it's
said-
going to come out at the same time. So
That's why
that
I think
makes
that-
perfect sense.
And it
But
gives them enough time to put solid work
But
into it.
surely, like Disney are going to make a Star Wars game for that film.
Oh, I think there'll probably be that as well.
They'll probably make the standard shit game that goes with the majority of films,
Tie-in,
and then Battlefront should not be that game. Battlefront should
it would be. It's
Battlefront.
Because
like,
Battlefront, it's not
like,
going to relate to the story at all.
dice.
Battlefront's like the strongest, one of the strong. Well, no, Knights of the Republic's probably the strongest, but one of the strongest kind of Star Wars
It's not far
franchises.
behind.
Aye. So
Which is
But I
really
think there's
cool.
more because they registered quite a lot of names, like Star Wars Assault. Some of them.
I know sometimes people, they do. All companies do that, I guess, to kind of protect
Register
their domains.
loads
But
of
people then
names.
freak out and they say, "Oh, they're releasing this or that," and people fly off the handle when they realise that, and they're not actually making the game; they're just registering the name for it.
I know. But I am totally excited for that.
Aye, absolutely.
Cannot wait.
it should be good.
Other news, I know, Chris, you were annoyed that the headsets won't work on the Xbox Ones, but the Xbox have confirmed that they're going to be, an adapter's going to be getting released.
Yeah, that you need to buy.
That you need to buy.
Aye, which is, again, ridiculous. I had read news as well that they are apparently looking into boxing the Xbox One with a headset.
They're looking
I
into
think
it.
I actually find that really annoying because you're left with the option of either buying a headset or buying the adapter
I think the
on top
headsets.
of the Xbox.
Maybe it's just because I've had it for so long, but I think the headsets on this Xbox feel pretty terrible. Quality wise,
Quite
I've always.
flimsy.
So
I've hated them. I went through about 3 or 4.
Yeah, but you've got like a good quality headset now. You use like Turtle Beach things.
I know, that's why the old ones are like, they're terrible.
I'm still using.
Did
like,
your dog not chew through some of them?
Not my old ones, but she did chew through my Turtle Beach a wee bit, but they still work. They still work perfect. She chewed through like the wee netted bit, yeah. But
I think the quality of I mean, I've never had to have one replaced. It's never broken in that sense. But
'cause everybody else I know has went through a couple.
seriously,
I've had to replace them. Yeah,
I've never had to replace it. But
I wouldn't.
they're just quite flimsy. And I would be quite happy just having one with the new one, not having an adapter and all any nonsense like that.
so
But
would you be happy buying a new one with the?
obviously prefer if I could just get on with it.
I think it's just annoying. I think it's just.
I would have been getting a Turtle Beach one anyway. I think I'll be getting new ones because I've had those ones for a couple of years. So I'll probably be getting the new, because I know Microsoft have done a deal with Turtle Beach to produce the new headphones,
To get new sets.
to get new sets done specifically for the Xbox One. So I'll be getting them.
I hope that they announced that the headsets coming with it. I mean, I think it was interesting that they came out and said that they were looking into it because there was a lot of feedback, and they've obviously already shown that they're very open to community feedback, having done a full 180 on the
Which is
the
cool. They're
DRM
listening. I
and stuff.
mean, Sony never gave one with the first console at any point. It was always an edition you had to buy it.
I know. I don't know why people are moaning now.
People are freaking out about it, and it's
Freaking
like,
Well, that's the one thing that I've always said, and that's the one thing that I said from day one about the PlayStation Network, is the one thing that is missing is a standardised headset that comes with it. Because I find that when you play PSC games online, it's very quiet.
aye.
I don't think you find a lot, which is maybe a good thing depending on what you're playing, because half the people that play Call of Duty are just wee arseholes. But
Dicks.
And I suppose it was
if you
it
have
was the
a
online
headset
setup.
with it,
It was the online setup and the chat setup. The PlayStation, it was always kind of not as good. So I think it's like you say. I agree that it's annoying that it's even an option that was maybe not going to come with it. But I think it's because we had it so good on the Xbox originally that we didn't think about it to be an issue until they then decided that they might not do it.
well, I don't know if you. I don't know. I still find the Xbox Live subscription thing annoying. So I wouldn't necessarily say you've got it so good on Xbox, because I've always found that the subscription that was charged for Xbox Live was totally unjustified. Even now, when they're trying to throw these 5-year-old free games at you,
But when I paid it for 8 years, I'm happy if they're going to give me an old game, even if it's.
Aye, but that's
separation.
the point. You shouldn't have been paying it for 8 years, because you're not paying for anything. That's my whole thing about Xbox Live. You don't pay for anything. You're paying for what?
Because you pay online to your.
Yeah, you're paying
yes.
you're paying for what PC gamers have been doing for free for years, and that's why I feel that Xbox Live has just been a tax rather than being an actual service. So I wouldn't necessarily say that you have it so much better on Xbox, because I generally don't think
You do.
that you do.
Alright, this is Bone talking about fucking subscription fees.
That's a sore point.
Fucking
It's a sore
boring
point.
bastard.
Ian.
I know.
We're
I can
deep-
tell you two
we're
were
deep-
fucking
we're
just
talking
about greeting there.
We're talking about Phil Fish and his his turmoil, and then we're also talking about my hatred for the Xbox Live subscription fee.
Noted. Next, Call of Duty Ghosts multiplayer reveal is set for August 14th.
Talking about
Chris is so excited.
Talking about boning.
Whee! I
Is
bet
that
you
is that
cannot
timing for
wait.
Gamescom then, or that's
It's
before
just
it?
before. So I think
I think they're doing their own.
they always do that.
Their own thing. Like they're not. It's not part of anything. It is just their kind of. Because I think it's like a live reveal, is it not? Like a.
Aye, but they'll be showing it at Gamescom and stuff. So it's like this a week before.
It'd be cool if they had it for people to play at Gamescom.
I know the one I was at. It was.
Because I think they did
Call of Duty,
that.
was it? And you couldn't. Yeah, you could play it there, but it was very limited.
Right.
It was so busy that
Oh well, because
we waited in the queue just to get in for. I don't know.
I mean, I'd be interested to
Tours.
see. I mean, I've been hearing things about how the levels now change and stuff like that, but
Wait and see. I mean,
I'm always going to be curious.
Call of Duty is Call of Duty. I mean, if they don't change the core mechanics of it, then I just
It's
don't
gonna
really
be the
think
same,
I'll care. I just don't think I'll care too much at all. The single player reveal for me was just average
Bland.
at best, so
Alright,
I'm not too
cool.
excited.
New Xbox One controller. They've really revealed the costs of that, which is not really any surprise.
£50,
45.
45.
45, and it'll be 60 if you want a controller and the play and charge kit with it.
I mean, I think the
Which,
Xbox
as somebody
360
said-
controllers were about.
They say somebody said it's the exact same price as what
About
the
that.
Xbox 360 was.
Aye.
So it's no surprise, and people will probably still moan because people like moaning.
You generally expect
But
that next gen is an excuse for them to bump up the price. And to be fair, the Xbox
Always-
One is really
It
expensive.
is
but
with anything.
they haven't really bumped it up by that much.
No, they haven't,
at all,
and
really.
and it's everything new. Like you get new PCs, new graphics cards, and that the prices go fucking right up again.
Early adopters are always going to pay more. And
Then it gets lower and lower.
Aye,
you know
well,
what I mean.
PCs is
PC's different now.
a
You
different
can't
thing,
really
a different thing
know.
because if you spend half the money that you spend on an Xbox One, you would get a more powerful PC. What else is there?
New Bioshock DLC
Oh my god, I was so
announced.
chuffed when I read that. I mean, did the reviews read it or
I
care about
I
it?
no,
knew
I
that
s-
it was.
I watched the
out,
trailer.
coming
I watched the
out,
trailer for the one that's been released. See the kind of multi.
Oh, so you haven't seen the
I've not seen the
Burial at
story, the
Sea?
story one.
I mean, I think that the one that's been
Is that what it's called? Buried at Sea.
Burial at Sea.
Burial-
That's what
Buried at
DLC's
Sea, I
not
think.
released yet.
The
No,
one part
there
of
is.
it is.
They've released one bit of DLC.
Because I thought the way I read it was that it was.
Because it's quite cool how they announced it, and it was one bit of DLC's out right now, and
Aye.
then you're going to be getting the other DLC. The one that's just came out is Clash in the Clouds,
Clash in the Clouds.
which is like 4 areas, and each area has 15 waves.
That's kind of wave attack. Kind.
But it's not like, it's weird how, like, I played through it, and the waves don't necessarily get progressively harder. It's just that you get a challenge in each level, in each wave, sorry, and the challenges get harder.
Right.
So it's that, that, I mean, that's quite fun, but the Burial at Sea is 2 parts. They haven't said the dates or anything like that. It's 2 parts, and the first part I think you play as Booker, and the second part you actually play as Elizabeth. And it's it's like an alternate, I suppose mild spoilers here for people that haven't played Infinite. It's a kind of alternate, I mean, is it an alternate version of Rapture?
No,
I
I
don't
think.
know.
Well.
Because they weren't in
Oh
Rapture.
fuck! You could have loads of theories about it, I suppose.
And then they're using plasmids again. But then
she'll
apparently,
be using her kind of
well, I don't know, will she?
maybe. That's like she could and go back in time to a different.
What ifs and maybes?
It's just like a
But it
whole
seems
time
to
travel
be-
movie.
It seems to be a kind of mystery story. 'Cause it seems to be a kind of
and film noir kind of mystery, murder mystery kind of.
The picture that they
feel.
showed was quite cool of like
Vibe.
Elizabeth kind of smoking a cigarette, and he was lighting it using the
Plasmid.
what it was
Incinerate?
one of the plasma incinerate. Aye, that was it.
The only reason I know that's because I've been playing over Bioshock 1 and 2 again.
And it's cool as well. Like you're in Rapture just before the fall, so pre-fall Rapture. Because you don't see it when you get to Rapture. It's after everything's happened.
After everything's been fucking.
So you get to see Rapture, and that's what I always wanted. I wanted to see Rapture before it went tits up.
With
so.
everything kind of. I can't wait to see that. Actually, I've not watched the trailer, so I'll check that out.
But yeah, I mean, in the season pass, everything is going to be out by March, so I would hopefully expect the first part to come out this year, and then, second part
Seems
next year.
ages. I know. I've not got Infinite anymore, so I won't be playing it anytime soon. I'll probably play it further down the line. See when Steam have it in a sale next year, maybe or something. I'll maybe pick up Infinite again, then get the DLC for that.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
it. It's amazing.
You love that. I think that's all the news. Unless you have got anything else, any of you guys got any news?
Not necessarily news, but if we were kind of hanging things off, like rounding it up, I
Are you
would touch on
pulling-
Breaking Bad.
Pulling somebody up? What?
Touch on Breaking Bad.
Touch on Breaking Bad. Oh yeah, aye. Because I forgot to mention that actually. Because I know in the last episode we were talking. Me and you were saying how much we were enjoying it and wanted Chris to watch it. So Chris, how much have you watched so far then?
So is this going to be a thing, like checking in with me?
We'll check in with you every week.
Chrissy's progress on
Well,
Breaking
this-
Bad.
Chris's V update on Breaking Bad.
Right, that's the official.
That's the wee theme tune for.
Cool.
I'll need to remember that for next week.
Well, bear in mind it's been 7 days, so I think this is fairly alright. But obviously I can't just sit in front of a TV for 24 hours a day and
could,
just watch
but-
it.
You can.
I'm on episode. I'm going to watch episode 9 in season 2.
That's really cool.
So,
and I think there's 13 in season 2.
There is, yeah.
13 in season 2, yeah. So
That's cool.
I'm a good bit of the way through it.
So, what's your thoughts on it so far? Are you enjoying it as much as you thought you would, or
See, it feels weird because obviously you guys know more than me, and I suppose if anybody's listening that
they
hasn't,
probably most
hasn't
people
watched any of it, I mean, I think I'm the only person that hasn't actually watched it. But if anybody hasn't seen it, then they might, mild
I think
season
most
2
people.
spoilers.
I think most
but-
people have seen it, but what do you think?
I mean,
so
I think it's really good. I'm really enjoying it. I think that hype is a horrible thing because
It can definitely be.
I was expecting it to be the absolute best thing ever, the way that people talk about it, and it definitely isn't. But it is. It's still really enjoyable. But I feel that I'm probably not so far enjoying it as much as everybody's. It is just hype. It is just that thing where everybody says it's the greatest thing ever, and then you watch it,
Nothing
and
ever is,
and it ultimately isn't. I mean, it is really good. I mean, initially I was finding it kind of alright. I found Jesse the most annoying character that I think I've ever seen in my life.
it definitely was annoying first.
I hated
when
him.
you
I
first
actually
see him.
hated him. I was like, this guy's doing my head in. But see, and it was literally only happened in the past couple of episodes. In season 2, he's actually went a lot higher in my estimations. He seems like a really funny and actually more of a likable guy.
The character arc's it's definitely.
And I think it was
Good for him.
it was the one, I think I was saying it to you earlier, it was the one in the kind of 2 meth addict's house where they had the wee kid and then she ends up crushing the guy's head with an ATM machine.
It's a brilliant scene.
I think that one, it was that one when I kind of felt for him a wee bit, and I think it was the way he was interacting with the wee kids who looked.
It made
like
him.
hell,
It showed you his human side.
And I think that's the.
And then on the flip side of that, and it's really weird, but on the flip side of that, you've got Walt, who seems to be progressively getting worse in terms of having an attitude, becoming like a bad guy.
A bit of a dick guy.
But then he reels himself in when he's around the family. But there are times where you just see it coming out of him.
That is and I said to you just before we started the podcast, but that to me is the essence of why Breaking Bad is so good. Is because
the character writing is brilliant.
The character writing is so good. And Vince Gilligan, the kind of main kind of creator and one of the original main writers, he's like, and he touches on that and it's no spoilers for anyone, for you, Christopher, for anyone just now. But it's just like the way that you feel for characters. Like you do naturally dislike Jesse at first, and you naturally love Walt. And already you're seeing changes in that, and I think that's what's brilliant when you see somebody that you know is doing something morally so wrong, but you love them, or somebody who does something bad that you hate, and then your opinion changes, and that's what's amazing. And like, I think as a whole, Breaking Bad, like at first I had the same opinion as you at first, Christopher, that it maybe wasn't as good as the best thing ever. I was thinking.
See, I have heard that it gets progressively better,
and I don't even know if it feels like it gets better because. It's consistently good, but I feel like you just get more involved in it.
You get more invested into it, and all of the characters, because there's quite a lot of characters in it, and
I think that's the best way to say it, because it's progressively brilliant. I think, if anything, slightly dipped in season 3.
See, I have heard that.
But when I say dip, I mean it's
still good.
It's still a
brilliant
a
standard.
marginal dip.
Still a good standard.
A marginal dip, but then it increases again. But we are going to do, like, when you catch up to the end of season 5, we might touch on it in another podcast.
Hopefully, if we do a podcast, I mean, I don't know when we're going to do our next one. We actually haven't talked about it at all. I mean, I'm up for doing one whenever, but whenever we do a next one,
we'll just kind of check in, see where you are, and we'll talk about it.
But that's commitment now. Like, I have to stick to that. So
the final date for the final episode is September 29th in the States, and I think we get it the next day on Netflix. So you're probably talking the first week in October where we will do a specific.
I'd want to get straight on that.
I do,
because it's going to be huge news online. People are going to be, no doubt, insanely happy with the end. People are going to be raging with the end, and which is the whole point. It's a discussion point. I think I'll make for an amazing podcast. So I think probably the first week in October we're going to do a Breaking Bad special.
But
cool.
I think that's us pretty much wrapped up.
I can't think of anything else.
For the week. I think we've touched on everything, and we've been talking. I feel like we've not really touched on a main topic. We just covered
lots of different news.
No, there wasn't anything main to cover this week. I don't think there wasn't anything prevalent in there. I've said prevalent 3 times in this podcast. I've said it first day, and then it's just popped into my.
Somebody's been sitting with a
Forever.
thesaurus.
And I will
Prevalent.
touch on one other thing relating to our podcast, because we're hoping to get a little tune
Oh,
jingle
yeah.
made up.
Oh yeah.
I won't say anything about it because we don't even know ourselves what it's going to be like, but we're working on an idea, not us three specifically, outside help, hopefully.
Exciting help.
Going to get a
Everything.
little tune made up at the start, like anything, any kind of things you guys might listen to podcast wise. There's always sometimes a little tune at the start. Hoping to get something just to put a little kind of stamp of identity on it, because we always just kind of start and
An original kind of piece.
so hopefully the next kind of few weeks might hear that soon. But as always, we'll keep you posted on our social media, Facebook, Twitters, and all sorts.
Aye. Again, if you want to comment on and ask us anything or want us to talk about anything, give us feedback on the Facebook and the Twitter at GG Chronicles.
Definitely just hit us up with random topics. I think I'd be more than happy to give my better pessimistic,
attitude.
my better pessimistic,
bitter end.
or depressing opinion on anything.
Aye. Jesse
Or does-
would say, "Hit us up, bro,
Bitch.
bitch." So we'll see you all next week. It should be online hopefully by Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon. Let's see.
Cool.
GG.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.